Hello guys, if you like my awesome gaming videos, my programming and web development courses, my editing courses and editing videos, and my tech talks and tech guidance, then you can consider subscribing to my channel and click on this bell icon to stay connected with me all the time. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to work with the MERN stack search functionality. Especially I'm going to implement the backend first for the search functionality, and then I'm going to implement it onto the RTK Query blogs API, where I have implemented all the search features like get, post, update, delete, all of the things in this front end, and also manage the state accordingly. And when you want to search something using the Redux Toolkit and RTK Query, how you can manage this stuffs with the backend and how you can implement this into the front end. I'm going to guide through every single thing how you need, especially for this search functionality. So if you're very new to Redux RTK Query and Redux Toolkit and you want to integrate it with your backend as well, so let's do it and let's do the search feature. I think this would be really helpful for many of you. If you see in the blog, we need to implement the search feature. We're gonna use the same search component again and again. If we go to the root page, and this is actually the video page, and if you just search it like React, here you'll see all the information, okay, regarding this, and you can clear this out. Okay, so this is the feature we need to implement in our blog project. So if I go to all blogs, here we need to implement this search. Now this search works for video only, but not for blogs. We need to do that. Okay, we're going to use the same search component. Let's see how it works properly. Okay, and make sure that this is all blogs page and this is the root page. This is the root page, and this page works perfectly, but we are working on the all abouts page. Okay, so let's do this. So first we need to work on the backend. So let me do this. So here I'm going to search some blogs based on blog title. So if we go to our models, here in the blog model, we have a field called blog title. You can do this for the category, for the description as well, but I'm going to do this for the title. So let's do this. Search blog title. Okay, so here we need to make sure it is asynchronous, and here I'm going to use request response. Okay, this is super important. It takes two parameters, request and response. So this is the two parameters it takes. There are two ways you can do this. First one is very simple. Just get the data from the params, from the use params. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to use query title, and this is just a simple variable. And what you need to do, you can use new regex regular expression, and here you can use a pattern. You can give some information called request dot params dot title, and this would be coming from the request params dot title. Okay, so this is the field that you need. And what you need, you can use I, because it can accept both uppercase and lowercase letters. So for searching, you need to match that. Okay, for uppercase and lowercase, it should work. Similarly to that, if I write React, it should work, and if I write it in a small letter, it should also work. So this is the thing we need to check for this I. You just call new regular expression and pass your parameter, whichever parameter you use to search information, and the parameter is title. So just check it. Okay, so you can easily do that, and we need to check if it is exist. If it is not null, then it will work. Then I'm going to use try catch. Try catch block is always very important in this asynchronous functions and asynchronous work, especially that is connecting with the backend. And here I'm going to use our results, our search results. Just name it search results and just search it. Await, you need to call blog. Let me call it blog.find, and here you can pass this information, blog title. So we're gonna search the blog title based on this query title, and this is the information that we got from the user, whatever they want. Okay, based on this title, and it will really find something out of this blog model. Okay, so here you can easily write response dot status of 200 and give them a message, or you can just pass the search results. Okay, whatever you get from this API, you just send it to the backend or the front-end user so that they can see what the result we got. So this is the result that we need. So it gives us a status of 200 that it is success. Then we need to pass the JSON, and JSON you just pass this search results so that the user can see whatever things that you search for. Okay, so this is actually the result. Or if it is not okay, you just console.log this error. Okay, and you can easily write response.status code of 404 that it didn't find anything, and JSON in the message you can say that matched block found. Okay, no, matched block found with that title. Okay, and if it is okay, so this is very simple. Or else block, you can easily write this thing. You can copy this thing and paste it here, and no matched block, just right here. Okay, so this is the thing that you define. Make sure you get this data from the user, whatever you want to search, and search based on this parameter. Okay, suppose block title, I want to search whatever the user search for it and give them the response. If you want to search it by block category, you can easily write block category. Okay, you can do that. So very simple and easy stuff. I just did it with the title. Now our backend setup is done. In the front-end setup, we have to do a lot of work, but we can also do one more way. There is one more way you can do. Okay, so just you don't need to write anything here. You need to just write request.params.title. Okay, and you need to find block title, and here you just need to write, then you have to check regular expression regex is equals to request.params.title, whatever the user want. Okay, you need to pass one more options, and you need to pass I. So this will also work. So both of those parameters did the same thing. Here you just use regex and get the data from the user, whatever they want, the title, and search the block title based on something, and the options is I for the uppercase and lowercase, and this will work for every cases. But normally I like the previous approach most. You can use any of those things. Okay, just removing everything. So this is the approach, just get the data and just find something. This is more cleaner, more easy to use and easy to see. So here we can go to our blog routes. In the blog routes, you need to uncomment that router.get search/title, and here you need to just write search block by title. So I have to export it, search block by title here, search block by title, and you have to use this thing inside our routes file. This is the blog routes. So I have uncommented this out, as you can see. So search block by title, and as you can see, this is the thing that we need, and this is the parameter, this is the params. So whatever you see here, request.params.title, is actually coming from this thing. Okay, so this is a very simple stuff. Now we need to work with our front end, and front end I am going to use the RTK Query blog API. So this is a very important stuff and new stuff, and I think many of you will going to enjoy that. And this is the backend part is done. What I need to do in the first step, let me check that. First step is RTK Query blog. Okay, so this is the features where I have everything set up for blogs, for blog comments, for comment section, for normal video section, everything is there. If we go to the video slice, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. Now we have our blog slice. In the blog slice, you need to create something. Here in the blog, we have a blog slice and blog API. So if you are new to Redux Toolkit, this is what you need for every segment. Like this is the blog segment, you need a simple stored name as blog, and initial state is nothing, and this is the reducer. So if I go to app.js, this is the blogs. This is the blog slice, which is just imported from this blog slice from the features folder. Okay, and we just added there this blog slice in the blogs. So this is our store. So this is the thing we need. Okay, so in the blog slice we need something. So before that, what I need to do, we need to go to our blogs API and our call those things. And this is for the update. Okay, this is for the update, and here I'm going to use our search feature, search blogs. And what you can do, you can use The same thing that we are writing here, search by title, search blog by query, and you need to use builder.query. So here you need to just use search blog by title. In here, basically, if you know a little bit of RTK query, this is the thing that we're going to do. For any query, you just use builder.query. For mutation, you have to write builder.mutation. So as this is a parsing of data from the database, this is simple, just use builder.query. Builder.query. Okay. So here we have some information. If we press Ctrl and space, you will have all these functionalities. You just need to use query, and here you need to pass some title, and this would be the block title. And here you need to pass our API, okay, or dynamic API. So what you need to do in the root API, we have /blog/, okay. So we need to go to our backend first and go to our routes, blog routes. Here we have these search titles, okay. So let me copy this thing and go to the server.js. And this is the also thing that we need, API/blog. Okay, so we also need this /blog as well in the front end. So this part many people get confused. This is very important. So if we go to our features, here all of our API is there. As you can see, fetch single blog, add something. All of this thing is there. All of this thing is completely up to you however you want to do. So what we need to do, we need to add API/blog, and we can copy this stuff /search and title. So here we need to pass the dynamic title from the user. Okay, search blog by title, just name it properly, and I think now it will work perfectly. You can use search blog by title. So our second part is done. So our third part is create our slice so that we can do our search. Okay, blog search. So you can copy the same thing. You can use copy blog search and go to your blog slice. Here you can pass your reducers. You can write your own reducers. Okay, so here whatever you want to do, suppose search blog. Okay, search blog, and here you will take state and action. This is actually the Redux Toolkit way how to write your reducers and actions. This is the thing that I'm writing, just an action. It takes state and action parameter, and based on those things it does some work. And in the initial state I have to write blog search is equals to empty, because in the beginning I'm not searching anything. But when you want to search something, then state.blog search, as you can see, state.blog search, this blog search, actually this blog search would be assigned whatever the user gives, action.payload. So action has some property called payload. This is the thing what users write. Like in the action.payload, users write React or Nodejs. So this is the information would be coming inside the action.payload. And this information would be stored in the blog search. And then if I use selector, I can easily get the data. This is the way. Okay, this is the search block. And if you want to like clear search block, if you want to write clear search block functionality, you just need state, and if you don't even need that action, okay, then you can write state.blog search is equals to empty. You can empty this search again when you use this thing. Now what you need to do, you need to export that thing. So for export you need to write this thing, export const this thing. Okay, and this would be coming from export const, and this thing would be coming from blog slice.actions. Okay, these are the actions that you're going to trigger using the dispatch. And our two function name is search block to search something and clear search block to clear something. Okay, so these are the two setups done, and our main Redux store name is blogs here. Okay, and this is the same thing that I stored here in the blogs. As you can see, we have a property called blog search, and this is the search property that user will be writing here inside this component. Inside this component, people will write something like this, and this thing would be captured by this field, this blog slice. So if I go to our blog slice, this is the field that people will write, and this is the information we need to pass into our API. and this thing would be passed into our blogs API this title. Okay, so for that I need to do the setup first. So we already have the state the component setup. If I go there, as you can see, this part is done. We just need to use this search component now, and this search component inside our navigation navbar. So if I make it smaller, I think it would be very easy for you to see. So in the navigation, there is very simple thing. As you can see in the use selector, you can go to your videos, you can copy this thing and use this thing blog search, and you can go just go to your blogs, and it will give you whatever the user search from your store. So this is how the Redux toolkit works. Okay, so this is the thing we're going to use, but not in this navigation component. In the navigation component, we have one more component, which is search component. So this is the thing that we're going to use to implement this search feature here. Okay, so this is very important. So if I go to search component basically needs two information. One is which path we are in. At this moment, we are in the all blogs, so we need to get the path. Suppose const path is equals to, first we need to go to our location, is equal to use location. This is the hooks that we're going to use, and it is coming from React Router DOM. It gives the location, which location we are currently in. So if I just console.log this location, so let me see that. If I just inspect this thing, and if I search something like blog, see, these are the path name we have, all blogs. So it has some property called hash, key, path name, search, all of those things. So what we need to do, you can just const path is equals to location dot path name, as it gives a property called path name. Okay, so this is the path we are getting. So suppose if our path name is actually all blogs, that we're gonna use normal search, otherwise you're gonna search video search. So this is the search that is working for the video search. If I go to video slice, as you can see, search, and this search is working for this search. Okay, search. But now this thing is also in the blog search. So we have two search functionality. We just need to use one search component. So how can we do that? Using one search component. So this is the technique that we have to use. So in the search, as we have two paths, one is the slash and one is the normal path. So how can we do that? We need to just remove this thing, and here we just use conditional thing. So if the path is equals to slash all blogs, okay, if the path is equals to all blogs, then you're gonna use dispatch, and dispatch is also coming from your React Redux. Okay, here you can use search blogs. This search is for video search, and this search is for blog search. As you can see, this search block is coming from our blog slice file. Okay, blog slice file. If I go to there, this thing, okay, search blog. So we need to get that information. So this is done perfectly. So if the path is equals to all blogs, then just run this thing, this function, and a search block, and it takes some information, whatever the user types. In on change, if we just set input, we have some information, set input, whatever the user types would be stored in the input variable or input state, and just pass it here. So when I write something here, it would be stored into our state. Okay, so if you also want to show that thing, I'm just go to there, and I need to show you that information. If I navbar, let me show you that search. As you can see in the state, we have the blog. If you write something else, suppose else, as you can see, this is the state, we are getting some value. Okay, so this is the value you want. If we just click on this on change, if we just write something on this thing. So in the search field, what we write is stored inside this input, and this is the information we want to send using the dispatch in the search block. Okay, and when you click on this data, this block search field, if I just save it and show you there, this information will hold some data. As you can see, users passing some information, and you can use console.log here, log action payload to check whatever the user write. Okay, and this thing will also capture React or Node, whatever the user search. Okay, and it will store inside the block search store. When you click on this thing, let me go to search. When you click on this search block functionality, when you dispatch this thing, whatever the user type would be stored inside this store called block search. And this is the thing we want, and based on those information we're gonna search something. So this is, and this is, if the path is equals to this is the root path, then you need to copy this thing and we need to dispatch search. So this search is for, and pass our input, and this search is for video slice, and search block is for block slice. So we are using one search component to do multiple searching for different page. One is for all blocks and one is for videos. Okay, so this is for all the block search, and this is normal video search. Okay, so if I just write it, this is for the video search, and this is for the all blocks block searching feature. So if you have multiple feature, you can just write it like this way. Okay, so this is the best practice. I'm just using simple one search component. Inside this number we have the search component, and I'm gonna use two things. And for that I have used the use location from the React Router DOM to get the path, which path we are currently in, and it will get the path as you can see from here. So this is the information we need, and based on this path, if I'm in the all blocks page, it should dispatch search block and get the data from the user and store that information in the store, Redux store. So if I'm in the root page, that it should work for the video page or video search. Okay, so we have two functionality in one component. So what we need to do, we need to go to our step 4 is done here. So our step 5, and in the step 5 we need to get this state. As you can see, this is the place where I need to get that state from the block search. This is the thing that we searched for. Okay, so this is the thing we searched for. So we need to copy this thing and paste that thing here. This is the all blocks page, and here you can should use this. This is the block search, and we need to go to our state.blocks where we stored our all the information, whatever the user searched for. It will hold it inside this object, and we need to import use selector, I guess. Okay, use selector to get this stored data, and you can easily console.log this out, and this is coming from the state blocks. Okay, and block search. So let me do this and let me check it out how it is working. Refresh this and search it. Suppose blog. As you can see, state, we have the blog. Whatever the user write is stored inside this block search object, which would be coming from the state.blocks. Okay, so now we have the information what the users have typed, and we need to just use one more thing. Here we can write our data, use fetch, use search blogs by title. Okay, we need to import this API, use search block by title from the blogs API. How we are getting it? We already wrote it. In the blog search, we need to pass some title so that we can search something. Okay, we can search something and we need to pass this title what the user typed. So that's why we need that information. So here we need to pass what the user search. This is the block search that user search for that. We need to pass that information, and based on that, it will just send this data, this request to the backend and get our data. And so this is for the checking, for error checking. And here in the data property, in the data property, we will give our search blog results, you can write blog search error or is loading is equals to blog search loading. I just rename it because we already have this is loading is error for the fetch blog query. Okay, so see, the RTK query is very simple. We just call use fetch blogs query that we have written inside the inside this blogs API. We just call this thing use fetch blogs. Okay, so use fetch blogs query, and it automatically fetch all the blogs from the database, and we can easily map through them. This is the RTK query part, and also this is the RTK query part as well. We are searching. Use search blogs by title. We need to pass which title we need to search, and this is the information we get from our Redux store. Okay, stat.blogs. When we type something here, this information would be stored inside this store, and based on this parameter, we are searching something and getting the data and search blog title, and this will give it the array of information we searched for if it matches. Okay, so this is the response from the database. So blog.map, this is for the simple blog because we are getting every single blog, but we need to make sure that search works as well. So for that, you can cut this out. If blog search is not empty, okay, if people search something, suppose you can do it by reverse. If blog search is equals to empty, that will render something, otherwise you will render some other thing. So you can write it like this way. If blog search is equals to empty, it means that I want everything, I didn't add anything for the search. Okay, I just need all the information. So for that, you can copy and paste the previous code, blog.map, that is coming from our use fetch blogs query. It gives all the blogs from the database, and you just map it and print it. Okay, and send this data. But for searching, you need to get the data from the search blog results. Okay, so if the search blog search is not is equals to empty, then the data should come from this API, search blog results. So this is actually a backend search functionality. Okay, so instead of that, we need to just go to that search blog result.map and get the data, because user has put something onto the search and give us what are the information that user wants, like blog or any other thing, like Node, React, whatever the user search, just give us those responses. Okay, so one more thing is important here. We need to make sure search blog results dot length is greater than 0. Otherwise, you will have the error. I'll show you in a minute what are the error. And everything is same. This is just a simple ternary operator. I think if you know React and if you're a good React developer, you must know this thing. Okay, and we are just checking if we have some data into the search blog results when we search something. Okay, if there is some result, we're gonna print this out. So all of our steps is done. If I go there and in this blog, first we have done our backend, that we have set up our RTK query part where we set up our search blog by title. We get all the information from the backend. We are going to the blog search and title and pass our title, whatever you need. This is actually a front-end part, but this is RTK query, and it handles everything that is coming from the backend with the given URL. So let me check if it works or not. First, let me check what is the problem. 404 not found. / I think it should be /blogs, I guess. So let me go to our backend first, and let me check. Go to blog routes and go to our server.js. Blog routes, yes, it should be API/blogs, but I write it API/blog. It should be API/blogs. And let me go to our blog API. Okay, it should be blog/search/title, and I think this will work. This RTK query part is very, very sensitive, and you should write this API properly. Nodejs. Okay, it works perfectly. Refresh it again and just write it MongoDB. Nice, it works with the uppercase and the lowercase as well. So let me check it with the lowercase if it is working. MongoDB. Yes, it matches with the title. So I just want multiple information. So if I go all blogs and just write my, and it should give us 3 information. If I search my, here, it gives us 3 information. Okay, so it is super fast. It works without any issues, without any problem. Nodejs, ReactJS, and Redux Toolkit and RTK Query to get all the information you need based on the search parameters from the backend and implement them on the front end. Okay, so this is the whole concept behind this. So this is the full stack part, how you do search on your MERN stack application. So till then, take care, bye bye. I'll see you in the next video with more awesome and beautiful content near future.